Hey guys, Levi for the Rag Company, and in today's Details with Levi, we're going to be fully restoring this Nissan 240's dash because, well, it needs some work. And we're going to be utilizing two of the Colorlock kits for this job. We're going to be using the Colorlock steering wheel restoration kit and the Colorlock leather and vinyl recoloring kit. We're also going to be using just some simple Rag Company towels, a heat gun, an air gun, and the Rag Company Colorlock co-branded brush. So stay tuned. All right, so we've got all the tools necessary to do this dash. Now, Jimmy went and picked up this dash because, as you know, most 240s are prone to massive cracking. They get super brittle and there's not a lot left. So to find one in good shape without any cracking was a big undertaking. However, there are tons of wear spots in which you can see whatever the underlying primer or paint underneath is a bit of brown, and he's putting this in a car that he's working on and building, and he really wants to make it look nice. Now, there are two ways we can do this. You can actually just spray the dashboard if you'd like, or if you don't have access to an air compressor, or you just want to do something that's very simple, very easy, very effective, you've seen us use the Colorlock refresh kit on a number of our lives on how to recolor a leather seat. It's a very simple, easy to use system. The key is having a proper heat gun, creating the heat to dry the product, and then we're going to be using the sealant over the top of it to then seal it all up and protect it. But we need stuff to do that with. So out of the leather and vinyl kit, this is a used kit that we use here at the Rag Company. We're going to be using the sealant to finish everything off. We're going to be using the mild cleaner to clean everything along with the brush. And then we're going to be using the black refresh in this bottle along with the applicator sponge to apply colorant. Now, the little towel that comes with it, we're not going to use, but we need two products that are inside the steering wheel kit. We're going to need the sanding pad, and we're going to be using the degreaser. Now, in this kit, there is cleaner, there is sealant, and there is a small bottle of leather fresh, but it's designed to be used on a steering wheel. So if Jimmy got a matching steering wheel, wanted to fix it up, hey, we could do that too. So we're going to take these two products out of the steering wheel kit and these products out of this kit. Now, first things first, we do need to clean this surface. So utilizing a towel, some cleaner, and a brush, we can get to work cleaning this off. But it's got a lot of dust, so I'm gonna use the air first to kind of just blast it off. Now we're doing this on a black dash, and you can do this with any colored dash technically. All you gotta do is get in touch with colorlock.com, give them your interior paint code number, and they can actually mix up some leather fresh for you. So if you have a different colored steering wheel, they can do that as well. Same with the dashboard or an interior panel, maybe you have a door panel or something that just needs life breathed back into it. Now you're probably wondering why not use a different type of interior cleaner. Maybe use P&S's Express, or whatever your favorite type of interior cleaner is. Honestly, just like a ceramic coating, I like using every product from a company if I'm doing a process. So because we're using the Colorlock leather refresh kit, I'm making sure that I'm using all the products designed because I want the best adhesion possible. And all these products are designed to work together. That's why we're using it this way. All right, so now that it's clean, we can assess it a little better. And one thing to remember, the Colorlock cleaner and brush actually do a really good job of getting surfaces clean, and they're very pH balanced and safe. So one of the things I notice on this dashboard is, well, we'll just say it's seen some better days, but it's intact, and that's what we want. But it's also very rough. So that's where the sanding pad comes in. Also, around these areas where there's paint that's started to chip, we can actually feel the grit and roughness from those ledges between the different colors. So again, that's where the sanding pad is gonna come in. We wanna smooth all that out because we need it to feel soft, smooth, and well cared for. And we're literally just gonna do some light, dry sanding on this. Now, if there was a chip or a crack or something that you wanted to fill, you could fill it. Colorlock does make a plastic filler that you could put on. So right down here, there's a little split, something like that. That's when I would pull out the filler and touch that. That's not what we're doing in this video. So what I'll probably do is just kind of stop it along this line, let Jimmy order some and have him practice at it. Okay. Now, if you start pulling a little more grease or dirt or something, I'd recommend going back over, hitting it with the mild cleaner, scrub it one more time or just wipe it down. But this thing's pretty clean, so we're just gonna go down with the degreaser. And this is literally just to remove any of the leftover oils, any remnants, and we're just getting it ready for the color, basically. Now, this is the fun part. I think this is the most satisfying part. So all you gotta do is if you have some headphones, put on some headphones, find an audiobook, maybe a podcast, something that you wanna listen to, because we're literally gonna be watching paint dry. So if you're doing this at home, you know, try and make it a little more comfortable and fun for yourself. Now you are gonna want gloves with this. So make sure you do wear gloves, and we're gonna get our heat gun hooked up as well. So you want to shake the product up really well because you want to make sure that it mixes. Refresh, or leather fresh as they call it, is basically a primer and a pigment all in one. And so you do got to make sure you get those two together so that they can actually activate and then also be able to bond. So you want to shake it up, make sure it's good and shaken up. You can hear the little ball inside there start to rattle around. That's a good sound. That's when it starts mixing. So, all right. This is where the little sponge applicator comes in. So basically, I know you guys have probably seen this in the past. You can put this in a paint gun and spray it. I don't recommend it, especially for this video, because I wanted to show that anybody with any skill level can do this at home. All right, so you're probably wondering, it's kind of glossy. Oh no, are we gonna have it that shiny of a dashboard? We haven't started the heat gun yet. As you can see, we've already got a huge difference in the first coat to what this dashboard is. So now it's nice, it's uniform, it's very even, and we're basically gonna keep repeating this step till we have the whole thing done and it's all finished, and then maybe we wanna add a second coat to it prior to adding the sealant. But this is pretty good for a first coat. I'm pretty stoked about that. So the big thing with the heat gun, and this is why I say you can also use a hair dryer, is you don't want to increase the heat too much on the surface. That's why, as you can see, I'm kind of just fanning it. That's the right way to do it. The biggest thing is if you generate too much heat in one spot, you can actually melt the plastic or melt the covering here on the dash. So that's one thing we don't want to worry about. So because of the discoloration that was previously there, we're gonna do about 2 to 3 layers on this top part. We're gonna have to do 2 or 3 layers on the sides just to make sure that we've built up enough. Basically, one of the best things is we can just keep going until we feel that we've achieved the desired level of even color on the surface. After that, we'll put 2 coats of sealant on, and it should be done. But on these higher parts that are gonna see a little more sun damage or UV damage, I really wanna load up the colorant to make sure that there's enough product on these spots that are gonna see the most amount of sun, as well as, you know, along here where we're gonna see some of the wear. So it took a couple coats. I think we probably had about 4 or 5 just in this top section, and I think we had about 4 or 5 just on this part. But again, that's where all that UV damage is. That was the thirstiest part. And one of the biggest things about it was the more that we put on, it almost seemed to just keep absorbing. So we finally got it to where it stopped absorbing, and now all we gotta do is take our Color Lock sealant and we're gonna put a nice even application on here. Now, the one thing about the Color Lock sealant is we don't have to wipe it off. So we can basically do that same application where we sponge it on or we actually wipe it, and we just wanna make sure it's nice and level. We don't have to wipe it off. The goal is to let this almost create a type of coating over the surface. This is gonna give us our protection and our UV protection as well on the surface. So as you can see, we added that coat. I kind of just played around and walked back and forth along the side to try and get as much on there, as well as to provide the most amount of coverage. Now, in most cases, they ask that you let any recoloring dry for about 24 hours. But because we used the heat gun, we were able to accelerate that a little faster. And because we're actively not sitting on this portion, we don't need to worry about that as much. So the sealant is on. Now, we're literally just gonna let it dry. Once it's dried, we're gonna come back, apply a second coat, see if there's any high spots, see if there's any spots we need to take care of. But after that, I mean, that's it. This part can be ready to be put back into a vehicle. And again, the only reason we're doing this, Jimmy's building the car. He pulled the dash and got a nice one because the other one was broken and cracked, and we wanted to make this one just as equally nice. So this was a perfect opportunity to showcase these products and how easy it is to do, whether you're a home hobbyist or a professional detailer. All right, so we've added the second coat of sealant. Now, this sealant by Color Lock is a permeable sealant, meaning that other products can migrate. It doesn't leave like a hard surface sheen or anything like that. So if we wanted to darken this up a little bit, we could add the Color Lock conditioner to it and not have any issues. One of the benefits of the conditioner is that it's got even more UV protection than the sealant does, so we can really make sure that this dash is very well protected. Now, we're basically done. This thing's ready to rock and roll. Once it's fully cured and dried out, usually takes a few hours. Then Jimmy can take it, go back home, throw it in his car, and have a freshly restored dash. But he's still got a lot of stuff to do, and I did leave him a couple spots for him to work on later. So, as always guys, this has been a simple, easy restoration video on a dashboard, and we utilized both the Color Lock leather steering wheel restoration kit and the leather and vinyl kit. So both kits allow you to do this. You can do door panels, you can do your seats, you can do a lot of different things with it. That's what makes this so versatile. So remember, going forward, clean, gotta clean everything off. Degrease, gotta degrease the surface. Apply leather fresh, so that way it's nice and black. And finally, apply the sealant. That's it, 4 easy steps, super simple. So, as always guys, make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe right here at the Rag Company YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.